Mr. Cuellar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Secretary, again, congratulations on your appointment. Before I ask my question, just a logistical issue. We had sent you a letter about your latest agency strategic plans, performance reports with priorities. I know some of it's already in your performance.gov, but I appreciate if y'all can turn that in. I know Secretary Kerry just did his, so I appreciate yours also.
I will take a look at it when I go back to the department.
Right. Number one. Number two, 40% of all the exports from the United States go to Latin America, Mexico, the other countries, and that area we seem to overlook, and I know the other parts of the world are important, but when we send 40% of our exports, that's a very, very important part of it. Mexico is going through a transformation with Enrique Peña Nieto, and I don't know if you're going with the president on May 2nd, but I know that your counterpart, the finance minister, Luis Videgaray, they're going through a banking reform, and there's a lot of investors, a lot of people waiting because that would tremendously help Mexico, but they got to take care of a couple of political issues that just popped up, and they delayed the plans temporarily. But I would ask you, talking about financial institutions, tell us what the latest is with Mexico on their anti-money laundering strategy. We got to find a balance. We got to make sure we stop the narco money, but at the same time work with the financial institutions because they certainly want to work with ours.
Congressman, I actually met with the finance minister last week at the IMF spring meetings, had a good meeting with him, and we discussed this issue of working together on money laundering, counterterrorism, and I know our teams have been working together for some time and effectively trying to build the capacity to cooperate. He expressed an interest in doing so at a senior level, and I would look forward to working with him on that.
Okay, thank you. Second thing, the Inter-American Development Bank has done, and I got a list of projects of some of the work that they've been doing in Mexico, and as you know, the more loans and assistance we can provide there, then the better it is for us, because we rather have a strong and prosperous Mexico, and that actually helps us on immigration reform because more jobs will be developed there. Anything else that you're all doing, working with the Inter-American Development Bank Group and the different groups there that you want to share with us, and appreciate any efforts on that area.
Congressman, I actually met with the finance ministers from Central America and Latin America last week, and they are very much looking to a future where they can have a higher growth rate and where they can make the investments that they need. And we discussed that there's a need, in addition to the support from international financial institutions and bilateral aid, for there to be creative private-public partnerships. And I would look forward to working on all of these fronts. It's important to us that the economies of Latin America do well for economic and security reasons, and as you mentioned, just to deal with some of the challenges that good economies make easier to deal with. We have, in many cases, good partners to work with, and it's something that I will be spending more of my time on.
Good. Well, I appreciate the good work you're doing with our friend Luis Videgaray. He's in Mexico. I know he's doing a good job. I know him very well. Let's just keep in mind that a lot of our exports go to Latin America, Mexico, and I just want to make sure we don't forget about that like we did in the 1980s when we woke up one day and we said, oh my God, there's Sandinistas here, and then we sent Oliver North and a couple other folks. But we ought to do the preventive work because there's other countries that are paying attention to Latin America and Central America, and we certainly need to continue our efforts. So thank you. I'll yield back the balance of my time. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.